Hello, everybody. Hello, SpeedGaming 5. I am Specs, and I'm joined by Drossi today on comms. We have two great racers today playing HMG. We have SimpleClips and PH. I'm personally really excited for this HMG race. Number one, its HMG tournament has just started this week. This is the very first round. So SimpleClips and PH are in their first round. Here we go. They're both starting in different starts. Interesting. But a quick background on them, PH has a strong background and like NMG and minor glitch modes. He just has very good execution. Where SimpleClips is, calling the mentor tournament has improved significantly. However, I would say SimpleClips has a much stronger background and plays HMG in glitch modes more. So kind of an interesting balance. If you're a SimpleClips, so probably better at like the HMG and orbital glitch specific tech, but PH will have the stronger movement outside of that. So it'll be an interesting race.
Yeah, like SimpleClips immediately goes for an overworld glitch with the clip to hobo.
Yeah,
Not that
pretty
it's
common
got
start.
much.
I'd actually say PH is doing the more anti-meta start. Whereas most people will more commonly do something starting at Link's house, either into hobo, like Hylia, Saha, a few different options. Whereas PH is the same. No thanks. I'm going straight to Sank. And SimpleClips slipping, I believe, to Ice Rod Cave here.
Oh yeah, Tam swam.
Tam Swam. So let's do Ice Rod Cave early. Get there kind of quickly, and you can do it without bombs.
Certainly gets you around the map faster.
And yeah, in case anybody's new to HMG, just to explain it really quick. So HMG is you take overworld glitches, which is take your normal, minor glitch random that you normally see most of the time. You allow overworld glitching, so basically it does away in the overworld, so not in dungeons or caves. If you can glitch to it, it's probably legal, assuming it's not like insanely glitchy, like most things that like clipping through slopes and stuff. That's all legal. Most things you can do in the overworld are legal, and there are also a few things in the underworld allowed, a few dungeon and cave clips. They're very specific which ones are allowed and how they affect logic. So it ends up being most overworld glitches with a little bit of fun, like logic and routing added in from the few underworld clips that are legal, and we'll point those clips out when they come up and the logic behind them. But it ends up being like a glitch mode where you don't have as many like awful item locations, like the moon pearl isn't really mean. So a lot of people, and you don't have to do as many like one frame specific tricks all over the place. And PH with a nice sword there.
Yeah, speaking of nice opportunities for clips, as long as those Zoras don't get in the way, that bow is certainly nice looking.
How does SimpleClips not get hit?
I think he did.
But he still a rod rock.
It's the only thing here is you have to take the long way around to actually get to Zora.
And that bow's super nice, and that's kind of a... Okay, if you get far enough in, you won't get hit out. That's good to know. Okay. SimpleClips has that knowledge and knew that. But yeah, a bow, he was kind of gross on Zero's Ledge, because a lot of the time you'd rather splash delete that, with a bow. But with the bow being the item on Zero's Ledge, you're more likely to have to do that annoying Zero's Ledge clip, which can be a pain with those enemies.
I mean, you can always charge a water walk to get there if you really don't want to do the clip.
Yeah, but then you're probably leaving and coming back, because usually you'll do it the first time because it's extra slow. But SimpleClips did made that look really easy. A lot of times people don't do it that easily, like including myself. I struggle with it.
And there's a book in Hera Big Chest. Yeah, PH has to watch his health. He has taken a few hits in this Hera climb.
Does he have the... Sorry, go ahead.
So remind me, there's like a Hera to Meyer clip or something?
Yeah, that's honestly the biggest sequence is how Swamp, Hera, and Meyer connect. That's one of the biggest things to know. I'm actually going to watch his PH fight really quick, and then I'll explain. I mean, PH is pretty good. You can probably handle this. You can take one hit here, because I think Multum only does half a heart. So, I mean, being knocked off is still the main concern.
So presumably Hera to Swamp isn't particularly relevant now because we can't beat Argus without the hook shot.
Yeah, you are correct. Also, really interesting by SimpleClips is that the way they're routing is not clipping into mountain quite yet, which you often isn't wrong. It's interesting they're routing this way, looking at the delay, looking at the mountain. But yes, so as Jossie was just mentioning, one of the main series of clips is in HMG. The Swamp Small Key, which is normally the very first chest in Swamp, can actually be in any of the 10 locations in Swamp. And that means that 90% of the time, you can't get into Swamp from the front like normal. You also may not be able to logically have a mirror for Swamp. So you may have to do Swamp mirrorless and without the small key. So in most situations, the game logically expects you to go to Misery Mire, get all 3 small keys, then clip to Hera from Mire, and then clip from Hera into Swamp. And you can use the 3rd small key from Mire that you don't have to use there, essentially to open up Swamp. Because when you clip from one dungeon to another, whatever dungeon you were originally in is where the game currently is going to use your big keys and small keys from. So if you clip from Mire to Hera to Swamp, the Mire big and small can be used in Swamp. So that's a big piece of this game, is knowing that bit of logic.
Yeah, I think the other big underworld knowledge is Pod Cave State, yes?
Yeah, that's the other really big one, is that you can clip from the bottom of Spec Rock Cave on Mountain to Pod, so you don't even need a Moon Pearl to logically get into Pod. So Pod is Sphere 1 in this mode, meaning it is immediately available and in logic. Yeah, Simple's going to CAC here before Mountain, which is probably the more, you might say anti-meta play. Not crazy anti-meta, but a little anti-meta, whereas PH is going to Mountain here before CAC, which is a bit more common. But, they're both going to end up doing all of these checks.
I mean, Lamp's nice. You're not going to say no to Lamp.
No, Lamp's nice, and you're going to do these checks. And we did have a map check, right?
If we did, I didn't catch it. Hey, Hookshot's also nice. Now we can talk about Hera to Swamp, except that, well, there are those flippers on Lumberjack, which are kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, that Hookshot is nice. And only Hookshot is so nice. One, it's like, it helps you make some of the clips a bit easier, because now you can do hook speed, or combining, holding a sword out for positioning while setting up hook speed, because a lot of the clips involve having spin or hook speed, which are essentially the same thing. And then also, like, now you can do Part of GT easier. You can do Hookshot Cave more easily. You can consider Swamp sooner if that comes up. Like, it's so nice.
It's just funny that, like, for all the glitched logic, CAC was still the play.
Yeah, CAC has a bunch. And PH is going to follow that glove that got off Mountain. Do back escape. And then after that, we'll probably see PH. What was that map check? This hair was a crystal. We knew that.
Yeah, and Eastern's a 5/6 and Desert's a red pendant.
Okay. So, pendant desert. And in HMG, people usually don't. Technically, it can logically matter what your crystals, like if they're pyramid crystals, but most of the time, you don't care. Because once you have like a mirror, you can logically get the pyramid fairy as well at HMG, because you can orbital glitch clip into it. So, a lot of people won't even mark their pyramid crystals, like I don't in HMG. But technically, you could still have to do pyramid fairy logically, like the old school way.
SimpleClips not quite getting the fake flipper flip here because, well, you're still bound by you have 1 frame to make a screen transition when you hit the water.
This is one of those clips, if I haven't practiced it in a little bit, I'll get it off this a little bit and have this exact issue, but SimpleClips is trying to clip into Magic Bat. Almost had it there. Got it that time. That's it. Yeah, this lets you do Magic Bat early. Sorry, Drosy, what was that?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, yeah, it's nice. We have the early powder, but we otherwise don't have a way to get into Magic Bat under minor glitches.
Yeah, and actually this is not even in logic. The HMG actually still logically requires you to have a hammer or a mirror for Magic Bat to be in logic. It's just that you can route this in. So HMG still has a lot of things you can do out of logic that you might do. including the magic bat here without a hammer or a mirror. Some things to note. So in general, we can usually beat the seed without any gloves. The only exceptions are it's another sort of maze race. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay, we can clip up. I know you can clip down to desert from here. I wasn't sure if you could clip up to maze race.
Yeah, the recommended setup is you basically set it vertically 1 pixel higher than you would for the maze race item. Okay, Simple got it that time. That's one of those clips that, like, if you haven't done it a little bit, you forget the exact pixel, and then you do like a dash turn, like do it the recommended way. If you haven't done it a little bit, it's one of those glitches that trips you up in the seed. When you it's like one that seems so simple, but you easily forget if you haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, and finding early health is also nice.
Yeah, early health is nice because in this mode you're also going to be going into scary dungeons and scary parts of the overworld and dark world early and GT early, so you want that health. It's nice. It makes your life easier. You don't have a mirror yet, so you don't want so much health in mail so you can't death warp, ideally, but you still want the health so that you don't die super easily, not super squishy. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention about items you may not need. If Ice Palace is not required, then we usually can get away with no glove. As Ice Palace, you still need a glove inside the dungeon to lift up the rocks to actually full clear the dungeon. You can enter without gloves, but there's that, and then there's a couple other spots like Checkerboard Cave. Technically, there's a niche glitch you could do to get into it without a glove, but usually you're going to use a glove. I think everything else, there's reasonable ways to get to the item without gloves.
Yeah, certainly you can get to Mire without needing mitts.
Yeah. I mean, we love a pair of gloves, so like PH is happy to have those gloves. Having a pair of gloves does improve your routing options. It makes it a lot easier to get around. So you are happy to have a pair of gloves, and then you have them for Ice Palace if you need to go in.
And for that matter, we get to use other entrances to TR. We don't necessarily need to go in the front.
Yeah, we can logically the HMG will let you go in from the front like normal, or you can logically also go in from the middle. You can also enter through the back through a laser bridge, but technically it's not in logic. But there's still a lot of reasons to do it regularly in an HMG seed.
By the way, is that both items out of desert?
I'm too busy babbling to pay attention.
I also didn't catch where PH got his first sword because I see I assume it was on the mountain somewhere.
It was on Spec Rock.
Okay, got it.
Which is why SimpleClips has delayed mountain for quite a while. Folks doing the mountain, doing the CAC desert section.
But that also puts Aga in logic and therefore Flippers in logic.
Oh, Flippers and Lumberjack?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely missed that. Yeah, I'm just too busy babbling away. Yeah, Flippers, that's pretty gross. Because being that we have only... If Swamp's required, we'll have to get those Flippers.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing Swamp without Flippers, period.
We're going to get those Flippers. So if Swamp's required, we're grabbing them. If Swamp's not required, then we're not going to get them. Same rules as in minor glitches.
But because of the Hera to Swamp connector, you're kind of hoping to be able to, at this point, if you're SimpleClips and still haven't even been to the mountain, as PH is having trouble getting this clip to Maze Game. But yeah, you're kind of hoping if you're SimpleClips that you can get the Flippers before you even go up the mountain, so then when you go to Hera, you can do Swamp, combine it.
Yeah, and SimpleClips is doing I don't know this clip as well. This is like a more old school clip up mountain. It's a good clip, but a more old school approach to it. But yeah, SimpleClips now go get all the mountain items, including that other sword. But yeah, PH, I did ask him a couple days ago in his chat. I asked him how you feel about HMG, and he warmed up, and he said no. So he said in race time before this race that if you see him pause for a minute or something. Yeah, he's checking Muffin's map, which is a map that shows you all the glitches in the underworld and overworld. and gives you links to how to do them.
That's pretty awesome.
It's amazing that Muffin's made that, and also with Melmo's help. And if you PH skipped that hammer from Old Man.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously would see him with hammer if he had made that check.
PH should get to that eventually, but it's gonna be a bit where he's at Mountain. That's gonna, I imagine, at least before PH goes to Pod, because they'll be back up on Mountain at that time, they probably do Old Man, but we'll see what happens. PH will probably get that before it becomes a huge issue. But it's an item you want.
Wow, identical rupee totals for both runners. You don't see that very often when you're at 832.
Yeah, especially since I feel like they've done enough different checks.
Is this how you do Tomb Raider? I guess so.
Yes.
I just haven't seen Tomb Raider in a while.
Yeah, if you don't have a sword above fighter sword, so if you have fighter sword below, you have to use a bomb to break that grass.
Oh, that's the issue. You don't usually see it with fighter sword.
Yeah, so like a PH did it right now, he wouldn't have to throw the bomb. He could just swing a sword because the Master Sword and Tempered and Golden are all a little bit longer than the fighter sword, so they can actually reach that grass.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Tomb Raider is actually a minor glitch, but you don't see it in non-entrance for minor glitch modes because why would you have reason to do it?
Yeah, it comes up in like glitch modes and in entrance modes. It's super nice in here because while you can get to Kane's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge, there's Sphere 1 checks, so immediate checks that you can do in Logic. If you don't have the hook shot, it's 2 separate trips to do them early on in the seed, but you don't have meds or mirror. But if you have that hook shot, then like normal, you can do Tomb Raider and just do them both together, and it's a lot nicer.
Also, it's kind of unfortunate that SimpleClips did not check Spec Rock because, well, I guess he has the hammer, so the Moldorm fight's just going to be a hammer fight anyway.
Yeah, they'll be okay. And
I was thinking Fighter Sword Moldorm, and then I remembered, oh, he has the hammer.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will check Spec Rock after Hera in the situation. I personally, with the way SimpleClips did their Mountain Ascent clip, I expect that's what they'll do. They'll do it in reverse order. It depends what clip you use to get a Mountain, because there's like 4 different clips to get a Mountain in this Overworld glitches / HMG. And Mold not playing this.
And PH uses the glove for checkerboard anyway, and it winds up being vanilla anyway.
Boo. But it's nice having the book and gloves here, because only on after Desert, because a pretty common routing choice here is you do all of Kakariko, then you head south from Maze Race and do the Desert Ledge and Desert, and then after that you typically will do K45 into Aginas, by clipping around the slopes. But if you also have a glove or a book, you can add in Bombo's Tablet and Checkerboard Cave, which is what PH just did. So SimpleClips didn't have the glove, they did have the book. So Checkerboard Cave is an isolated check for them. A very reasonable one to have isolated, like that's pretty normal. But that might come up later. And yes, Tam is maybe in chat. The other way you can get in there is there's something called Blockbuster, which I'm not even going to try to explain, but basically you do a mirror thing to a block on the left side of Desert, and there's a way to then clip in the Checkerboard. No, you need the glove to get in Checkerboard Cave. I think I'm crazy here. I think you can use it to get into Hammer Pegs.
I mean, we know you're crazy, but that's a different matter.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong. I think you have to be able to already have the glove and get into Checkerboard Cave. I think Hammer Pegs is something else from Checkerboard Cave. Doing the Blockbuster glitch, which I know Simple knows how to do it, but I doubt we'll see it from either player. I know it's for Hammer Pegs, and there's another trick you can do, but I forget. You still need the gloves to get in Checkerboard Cave, because you do the glitch from Checkerboard Cave and not to it, so that was my mistake. And PH go for the early Prime Escape. PH just hasn't done South Shore yet, have they?
Hasn't done what yet?
South Shore.
No, I don't think we've seen Mini Moldorm Cave for Dam from either of our runners yet.
No, because Simple did like the rest side, like they did
Right, Simple did Ice Rod Cave and then went straight to Zora area. PH hasn't done that either since he doesn't have his bow.
Yeah. It's an interest that PH is choosing to do Uncle and Final Escape first. You know, similar to like normal open mode, you tend to put off Final Escape and Uncle a bit longer until your other good options are gone.
I mean, I'm thinking PH is going to do Aga immediately after this and get his flippers. That's why I'm guessing he's in here, because yeah, otherwise it would be pretty unusual to do this before South Shore. Yeah. So this only makes sense if he's planning to combo it with an Aga climb.
Yeah. What's weird about that to me is that PH has not, neither player yet has gone into Dark World and done a map check, so we don't actually know if Swamp's dependent. Because if Swamp's dependent, you might be able to skip those flippers and put that off. So to me, that's what you would do.
Oh, right, I forgot that we haven't even had a Dark World map check yet.
Yeah, Tam, we had a sword on Maze Race and a sword on Spec Rock, and no dupes. No dupes were had today on the swords. So there are some dupes in the game. So a lot of the items that you see in the overworld that are just like sitting there, that HMG you can just clip to right away. There are some various item dupes you can do to basically grab the item twice. So if it's a sword, you can see your first sword, you can actually grab it twice and go up to Master Sword immediately. But a lot of the item dupes who take a good amount of setup work and some extra glitch knowledge that a lot of HMG runners haven't the effort to learn, including myself. So.
Would be interesting to see if SimpleClips can do that, but that would require him to check Spec Rock, which he somehow didn't do.
Yeah, I was more comment that PH didn't do it for either check, but if Simple hasn't even checked Spec Rock and is missing out on a nice sword, is going to go Super Buddy here, which is in logic, if you have the hammer or the mirror. Which we have the hammer, so this is in logic. The Moon Pearl, or progression that leads to the Moon Pearl, can be here in HMG. It's one of the grosser Moon Pearl locations. There's only a handful of like actually gross Moon Pearl locations in HMG, and these are arguably one of them because it is a bit slow to check. But Moon Pearl could be here. But yeah, you were right. Jossie PH is gonna go for the flippers. So hopefully, for their sake, the flippers swamps a crystal or has an item that you need to go into Swamp Pearl.
Hey, there's another sword. Imagine that.
Okay.
So 2 swords on the mountain.
Well, Simple's still going to be able to do aggro if they want for their flippers.
Simple's going to feel really silly when he discovers that why he doesn't have tempered. Oh, he's back on the mountain. Okay, maybe he did just remember Spec Rock.
I think they're going to pod here because they have bow.
Gonna do the cave clip.
Hammer. Yeah, though the way that they're routing, it says nope, they're going into Dark World here. Never mind. They're going GT, a Spec Cave, GT.
And hey, what do you know? Swamp's a pendant, so maybe we don't need those flippers after all.
Okay, Simple. If Swamp, you don't have to go in for any reason. There's no progression in there. And Simple doesn't do Aga, they're gonna save a few minutes over PH.
Yeah, definitely. And just to cover our other bases, Meyer was Green Pendant and Skullwoods was our other 5-6. Not that we really care about 5-6 because we can clip into Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, Pearl could also be on Pyramid, because in HMG, there is still the chance that there is a Pearl on Pyramid, and you're actually, like, basically hard required to go beat Aga to get said Moon Pearl. Well, not hard required if you want to do some fancier glitches that no one really wants to do, or most people don't want to do. So logically, the game will expect you to beat Aga to get to Pyramid. But usually you'll get a mirror that you might be able to check that, or you just, most of the time you get your Moon Pearl somewhere else and you don't have to do it. Yeah, you can citrus clip as Super Bunny from the mountain.
Hey, jackpot! We got 3 matching items in the Saha's closet chests.
We got it's all money.
Yeah, it was big 20s in all 3 chests. That's like the slot machine jackpot, right?
Nice. Okay, SimpleClips is also in clean up Eastern here, so they did. Wait, did they get the clip on Mountain? What happened to Mountain?
Yeah, he wound up in Dark World. I didn't quite catch what he did after that.
I wasn't paying attention because it was setting up. They did the map check. Maybe they were just doing a map check and that's it?
Yeah, I didn't catch what he did after the map check. He might have just left.
Yeah, Vortex, I think it was just for the map check. Which is a little odd to me.
Yeah. And again, did not check Spec Rock, which is driving me crazy. And what do you know? Aga took 3 blue balls because Aga always takes 3 blue balls, except when he doesn't.
So earlier I mentioned that you could do a... Now you'd probably fake flute to get down to pure middle edge out of logic. That's what you could do. Fake flute be the easiest way. Which, in case that probably won't come up today, but a fake flute is basically as you're screen conditioning in the overworld, you use a blue potion, and it gives you a fake flute that lets you flute around in the dark world or the light world, depending on where you're at. Not in logic and HMG, but you are allowed to do it. But we probably won't even see it today. But yeah, so Peach did Aga. Did they do a map check? No, they didn't.
Did PH do a map check? I'm not
I don't
sure.
think so.
I didn't catch one. But hey, this is our first look at the dam.
Yeah, we're seeing Soundstrom now. And Eastern on Simple Slice.
25 minutes and first time either runner has done the dam.
I also agree for Vortex. I feel like if you're going to be Aga to get the flippers, like, you can just grab those. So especially if you're going to go to the Zoro area, let's make it easier. I think you have an easy way to grab the Zoro Ledge item. And,
yeah.
And you can also not isolate Hobo here, because Peach has not done Hobo. So... But I mean, it's hard to think of all these things when you're racing. So you know, I can judge all I want, but you know, when you're playing, it's completely different.
And in one of those things where allowing major glitches isn't helping us, Eastern Palace Big Key is still vanilla, so we kind of have to get it. And hey, what do you know? There was a Glove and Sphere 1 for all that.
Okay, so we got Mitts. You got Mitts, Sphere 1, Mitts. Okay. Okay. In HMG, the things that Mitts logically lock are access to Ice Palace, and Hammer Pegs, Smith, and Purple Chest. I don't think anything else is actually locked logically by Mitts. You can do those things without Mitts, but they'll logically lock behind Mitts.
I mean, often once you have a good enough loadout, it's faster to get certain places by the vanilla way rather than by using the glitches.
Yeah, a lot of the time, once you get these better items, like you get a flute or you get mitts or, you know, hammer or glove, like, you just can do things the vanilla way, because a lot of times it's faster, or it's because...
Though getting around Death Mountain, it's usually faster to glitch your way around, even if you have the items.
Yeah, Mountain, and then, like Mire area often, if you don't have, like, mitts and flute, it's just easier to just flip around. And yeah, Ice Palace isn't logic in this mode, with just mitts. You don't need Moon Pearl, because you can use the mitts to go into Ice Palace, and then die inside Ice Palace, to then be able to be in Link State, and beat the dungeon. And you can even get through the front of the dungeon to another Underworld clip, and actually skip past the initial freezer, that normally makes the front of Ice Palace fire locked. So technically, if you have the mitts, okay, there's a buff for PH, and now PH is probably like, I wish I had those flippers.
Yeah,
probably not feeling too happy. And they're saying, I don't want to do that awful Zero Edge clip that Simple made look easy.
And, well, he also wants to combo it with actually checking Zora since he has the money for it, which SimpleClips did not have.
That's true, so we'll finally see that check would never... So, okay, I liked my PH. This is a good call.
Yeah, nice heads up with the Whirlpool connectors.
Yeah, it's a smart idea. I would have saved and quit and been upset. Or try to do the Zero Edge clip that Simple did, and then probably get hit by an enemy and have to save and quit anyway.
Well, and we'll also find out whether Zora has anything useful that SimpleClips is now orphaned.
Is that intentional by Simple? Yeah, Simple's doing the Kiki Yeet, which is technically the fastest way, or it is the fastest way to get to the bottom of Spec Cave if you clip the pod. Not everyone does it, because it's, you know, you saw what Simple did. It has a good number of steps to it, but it is the fastest way to get up here.
And yeah, PH is now back on the mountain. So, looks like they're converging on Spec Rock Cave.
So PH should not immediately go back to Zero to get that bow.
No, so it's kind of surprising that he would be in Spec Rock Cave because the main reason to do it is to go to Pod. And you kind of want a bow in Pod.
Okay, PH is going to get the hammer from Old Man that they did not get earlier. It is an odd choice that PH didn't do Old Man earlier. The reason you do Old Man so early is that way you can just save and quit to Mountain. Otherwise, you usually get to keep clipping every time you want to go to Mountain, which is a lot in this mode. You clip to Mountain. Most of your save and quits are to Mountain, even if you don't have Flute, because you can clip so much from Mountain and get to so many places. But another point, as what I was going to say, yeah, I'm wondering maybe what PH is planning on doing is there are some clips from Mountain to Zora area that you can do. So maybe PH wants to route some Mountain stuff into the Zora checks. I'm wondering how they do that.
Meanwhile, we should talk about the key count in Cave State, which allowed SimpleClips to open the main door in Pod before he then exited Pod, putting him back into non-Cave State. So now that he's back in Pod, he's traversing the actual dungeon with the Pod key count.
Yeah, so they were able to open that front door, as you mentioned, because when you're in Cave State, you basically have infinite small keys. Technically, you have some big keys as well, because games were a bit... We don't have the Pod big, but it's common convention to open that front door. And yeah, you just said, Joss, it's Cave State because we literally clipped here from a cave, so we call it Cave State, because the game still thinks we're in a cave and not a dungeon when we clip here. Whereas if you clip from, like, Hera to Swamp, when you're in Swamp, the game will think you're in Hera until you leave Swamp and come back into Swamp. So wherever you came from previously, when you clip in the Underworld, that's where the game will think you're at in terms of like keys and big keys and like the sprites on the screen. So you have to usually just leave the dungeon or come back.
Does Cave State factor into key logic? Because I noticed we just got 4 small keys in the front non-bow locked anyway, like you could in a regular non-glitched logic seed.
No, it does not follow the key logic. The key logic in Pod is the exact same as it is in minor glitches, not different at all. Pod's the same once you're in it. It's just getting to Pod is different. And that's pretty much the same for all the dungeons. Only really Mire and Swamp are different because of the whole thing I explained earlier on in the race. Technically, Hera's a bit different as well. Those 3 are different. But Pod's the same. Common convention is to open that front door so you can save a key, and then if you get both of your 2 items you might normally get in the in front of the 6 checks, then you just skip right side if you know it's 2 small keys, and then you hammer Yump in the back to skip another small key requirement, and that allows you to skip right side. So that's normally how people play the Pod key layout, is they try to skip right side if there aren't 1 or 2 items over there.
Yeah, and of course both of the non-small key items in the front wound up being right side, so we kind of had to do it, especially since one of them was the big key.
Yeah, we definitely need that. PH is going to get their bow. They got their flipper as they're back over here. So, yeah, probably feels a bit bad for PH. The good news about getting that flip for Zero is no annoying Zero ledge clip. Okay, Simple didn't mess up on anything with Zora, so no big deal. So, yeah.
I am personally feeling frustrated that neither runner is on Tempered Sword when we know where the swords they're missing are.
Yeah, I mean, I give it to PH because I don't think doing it funny early is usually...
Oh, right, he didn't have the hammer before, so he couldn't have gotten to Dark Death Mountain for the 3rd sword.
Yeah, and some people might also delay that check because it's slow to do it until you have to do it. Arguably, it's choice on that. So I'll give it to PH. But yeah, Simple just hasn't checked Spec Rock. But at some point, Simple's going to, because if you clip the Hera and up high so often, you have to expect it'll eventually happen. Eventually.
And speaking of clips, PH actually just did the regular climb to get into Spec Rock Cave. So as you were saying, PH is more skilled with execution, but he doesn't know the glitches as well as SimpleClips does.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just interesting because Simple did a very nice Zola's clip did that Kiki Yeet had less issue with maze race and things, and his definitely glitches like their at-1% clip was really good, whereas PH's had a few moments where they like like they just do things the old school way, which I'm not like criticizing because I do something I don't do Kiki Yeet. I go to the pod clip area the same way as PH does because it's just so much easier. And you only save, I don't know how many seconds, but not a lot by doing the other way. And that's assuming good execution. But yeah, it's interesting to see, like, it's a very competitive race. I mean, actually, I would say Simple's ahead, because they've got, like, a crystal and a half now.
Yeah. I mean, I like Simple's position better than I like PH's position, but that's not to say PH can't catch up.
Yeah, the biggest thing for PH, I mean, also there was all the stuff with, like, they could have gotten the hammer a little bit sooner, which would have allowed for a little bit better routing on Mountain, arguably. But the biggest things were, like, they did add for flippers, when we didn't know if we need flippers or not, which they still might be needed, but we don't know that. And then didn't have where they were comfortable with to grab that zero edge item, which was the bow, when they went over there, and had to spend a bit of time on that.
Poor SimpleClips hit the switch when he shouldn't have.
We still haven't found a Moon Pearl, and we starting to run out of spots. It could be back here in Pod. That would be pretty reasonable. I'm trying to think, what do we have left? We have the back of Pod still.
We can clip into stuff like K45, right?
Yeah, I believe we already saw that though, didn't we?
No one's been into K45 that I've seen.
Wait, no one did K45?
Not that I've seen. But since we did find the shovel in Pod, I'm expecting the runners to combo Dig Spot in K45.
Vortex is PH did. I was pretty sure at least one of them
did. Oh, PH did? Okay, sorry. I guess I missed that then.
It's pretty common convention to do it with the Ginas after Desert. You don't have to, but it's common. It's like standard meta routing. So, but PH did. Okay. But yeah, the shovel check, as you just mentioned. Well, if you took the back of Pod, I think you've seen all of Hyrule Castle and Uncle already.
We haven't seen Dark Cross, unless that's the small key by elimination. I didn't check whether we found the small key in the map.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think you're right. I think you've seen both tablets.
Yeah, I believe we've seen both tablets.
We don't have a mirror, so... Oh, there's a mirror.
Okay, well, there you were saying about...
Okay, so when you get the mirror, and you don't have a moon pool yet, that greatly increases the number of, I'll say, gross locations for the Pearl, because in HMG, you can logically clip from Dark World Mountain into, like, the lower Dark Worlds to get around as a bunny, but in HMG, they don't require that. Also, that's slow, so you're not really going to do it anyway. But logically, HMG expects you to be able to clip from Dark Mountain down to the lower Dark Overworld when you have a mirror, because there's a mirror set that makes it a lot less terrible than having to do like a bunch of one-frame slug buffer things, the citrus clip with Super Bunny. So the mirror opens up. Basically, our Moon Pearl now can be in C-shaped house. It can be in chess game. It can be in Pyramid Fairy. It could be in the middle or front of Skull Woods.
Yeah, I guess we can't grab the Smiths without a Moon Pearl.
So those are the logical checks that you could do that the mirror opens up that are kind of gross.
What is SimpleClips doing now as PH takes down Helma King?
Oh, we can also get a Turtle Rock. Because you can mirror clip in a Turtle Rock and then die and become Link state. And so it also can be in Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, but you don't, I mean, yeah, we can do Laser Bridge and stuff. You don't really want to go into Turtle Rock without a cane.
No, you don't. And Mimic Cave is also open. So my point is, Mirror opened up a lot of gross things. We still do not gross things, but I think Simple's now going to do Hyrule Castle into in front of Escape.
And he still hasn't done South Shore. Oh no, he's got his mirror port here. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, SimpleClips when they were on Mountain, instead of going and clipping or getting into Dark World, you'll set up this mirror warp It's a mirror wrap for Pyramid Fairy. This is what HMG logically expects you to do.
We got a Bloomerang.
Most of the time for Pyramid Fairy. Not all the time, but most of the time. And SimpleClips will see this heart piece. And yeah, I like this routing. This is a pretty popular routing because after this you can mirror and then do Hyrule Castle and Uncle. So you mirror is a really nice routing.
Yeah, since he's comboing with the Dark World, makes a bit more sense to do the castle here. But he still hasn't done the South Shore.
Well, yeah, SimpleClips hasn't done that. I mean, it won't take them too long. It's just damn and mini roll drum. That is 7 items. They can just go grab 7 checks. And no spec rock Drosy.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be like my pet peeve until he finally checks it.
Okay, now PH gets the bad news about the flippers.
Yeah. I mean, there could be something like Samaria in Inside Swamp.
Yeah, it could be. It could still be required. It did make it easier for them to get the bow of Zero's Ledge, but obviously, like, you could have done that without that.
And we also, of course, still need both rods.
Yeah, we need both rods. We need Samaria. And we need Moon Parole. That'll be all we need. We don't need any medallions today. Logically, we do need the TR medallion, but we don't have to actually get it.
Oh, really? I'm surprised that's still required in Logic.
It basically is required because even though you can insert from the middle of TR, it's usually required. Not always. Oftentimes. The reason is because, like, of how the key logic works in TR, and you don't have that many checks available when you come.
Oh, so if they don't give you enough keys in the lower part, they could logically require you to enter from the upper part to get the necessary keys. Exactly.
You might have to go in from the front instead of the middle, and have to have the medallion in order to logically get everything, like get to the front of TR, because of how the small keys are. So generally, as a rule, if you don't have the medallion for TR, it's probably not in Logic yet. I'm not a master on that key logic, so I won't promise I'm fully right on that, but that's kind of the rule of thumb that I know. TR.
And meanwhile, Vortex, you're saying that the map is at Dark Cross? Except that we're heading there, so it seems like Dark Cross may be an item, or else SimpleClips is miscounting.
There's another reason to come here, though, in this mode, which is you can open up that back door that's in that room at Dark Cross, and it basically is a way that you can then, when you're clipping from Hera to Swamp later, you can actually clip from Hera into Hyrule Castle, the back of it, and you can go grab that key off of the key rat, so that you can use that key as part of Hera. Oh, there's an item.
Oh, okay. It was an item. It was a worthless item. Okay.
Okay, there was an item, but SimpleClips isn't doing it. I think they had a small key in Hera anyway. But a common convention is open up the back door, and then you can click from Hera to there, grab the key rat key. But that you can only do that if that door was already opened from a previous visit, and it allows you to get to Swamp from Hera without having to go to Mire to get a small key. So that's another common way to get a small key to get Swamp access from clipping in. Yeah, in this particular situation, SimpleClips was not looking to open up that key door. They have no reason to.
Yeah.
A small key from Hera, and no one has any reason to go to Mire or Swamp. They're both pendants. Oh wait, no. Mire and Swamp are the pendants, right?
Yeah, Mire and Swamp are both pendants. We're trying to avoid them, hoping that Samaria and the rods turn up somewhere else.
Oh, I was looking at the tracker. So
okay, SimpleClips is finally at Hera. He's checking Ether Tablet. He's gonna pull Ether for, I believe it's a little bit of love.
And maybe see Spec Rock? But yeah, there was like other time.
He's checked Spec, and now we can see if he checks Spec Rock, can he dupe it and get Butter Sword? Okay, he sees what's on Spec Rock.
You can SimpleClips. You can just go take the portal and mirror. You have a mirror now. Probably hard to think about in the moment because you never grab the item that way in HMG.
Yeah, imagine doing it the vanilla way.
Okay, SimpleClips is gonna do it the vanilla way. I think. Maybe? Oh, they can go all the way around?
You see a tempered sword sitting right there, and you're not grabbing it by... unless he really wants the item dupe.
Oh, to get golden sword? I could see SimpleClips doing that just for fun. I have no idea how to do it. Okay, just gonna clip up the Hera and walk back down. Okay. And that's one of the things when you're in that overworld glitch brain, you forget the simple, like the basic way to do some stuff. You're like, oh wait, yeah, I can't just mirror spec rock. And it's easy for us to sit here and say, yeah, you can just mirror like the normal way. But when you're playing HMG, like your train of thought completely changes, and sometimes you forget about, like, you know, the regular way to do something, and you're complicated. Oh, fake flute. So
With the mirror, is it possible to go into Spike Cave as a bunny if you mirror on the same frame that you enter?
Logically, it's not.
Logically, no, but is it possible to get the item?
You have to have a lot of health, because you can use potions still, but you can't use, like, your cape or whatever.
Oh, you can't use your cane, okay.
And then I don't know if you can pick up... I don't know if you can pick up the rock at the end, either. I don't know. But logically, it's not required. But yeah, SimpleClips is doing this, so this is in logic. So, okay, Thieves Town is not in logic right now. You can do it, so it's completely reasonable and simple to do, but the Moon Pearl cannot be in here, and anything in here will not lead to the Moon Pearl. So SimpleClips, that fake float he did, is a pretty standard way to go over here and do these checks, even though logically HMG expects you to use the mirror and do some annoying clips off of mountain with the mirror to get down to Dark Overworld, and then walk over slowly from basically like dark graveyard ledge area over here. But these sounds not in logic because the game still expects you to be on bunny form, not in link state, so you can't pull open the Friend of Thieves logically in HMG's logic. What they do expect you to do in this situation is to open up T-shape house by using that mirror glitch as you enter as a bunny that you just mentioned, Drosy. And you can do the same thing for chess game. And then you can also go into Skull Woods and get link state in both the middle and the back, middle and the front.
Yeah.
And then you can also technically, if you have Firewire, which we don't, there is another glitch that would technically
yes, Pocket Bunny.
Yeah, Pocket Bunny to have the control as well.
One of the many glitches that Kern dug up over the years. Yeah, because I remember when he came up with it.
When was that?
It was, I don't know, 2021, I want to say. Like, it was after he came up with Kern Jump, I remember that.
You know, one point that chat has brought up that makes going to these here nice. I mean, one's Crystal, you have to beat it anyway, so you can just do it now, even though you know your Moon Pearl isn't here. But another point is that because of how you pull on that fence and then enter the dungeon, when you leave Thieves, you'll still be in link states. It'll be in like a fake Dark World type thing, because of how you got the link state. It's just, game's weird. But it will allow you to easily check the rest of VOO, including the logical checks that we have right now, which are Seasip House and Chess Game. You can also check Brewery. Samari.
Meanwhile, PH gambling on Pendant Landmos. Missed the 3 cycle.
Yeah, you have to die in Feast Town or in a dungeon somewhere to get your link state, because otherwise, if you just did the fake flute and pulled the fence off Thieves to get the temporary link state, that's not like full link state. If you enter a building and walk out of that situation, when you walk out of the building, you'll be back in bunny form. So you'd only be able to like do Thieves or do T-Ship's House or do Chess Game and then back to bunny form, and you wouldn't have a way to set up the link state again. But by coming into Thieves and dying, you actually then will have like a fully normal link state in VOO once you leave Thieves. So it's that is kind of nice actually by SimpleClips to do this right now. Oh, PH is going to check a Brook Cave.
And we just learned that Meyer is Ether.
Oh, Meyer can also be the answer. I forgot Meyer's chat can also be the answer. Yes, this is logic.
Right, same deal with using the mirror to get in, but looks like PH isn't quite timing it on the same frame. You have to hit mirror on exactly the same frame, and then you can immediately check it inside, because if you're able to dash, then you know you did it properly, and if not, then not.
Yeah, in PH's situation, when they're a little less comfortable with some of the HMG glitches in comparison to SimpleClips, this type of pro location is probably like the situation you don't want, because the more experienced glitch runner has a better idea of how to route, I'll say, these grosser moon pro locations in like a more efficient way. So this is, I mean, PH will know what to do, but maybe a little slow for them.
Oh, speaking of rods,
we do have Pocket Bunny. Is that what it is?
yeah, I guess that does make Pocket Bunny available. So
Okay.
Moonpro could be in back of Skull Woods, right?
I think PH is like, where should I go? For that fire rod. Interesting. It should be in logic now, because we have the mirror, we have the fire rod. That's basically all we need, right?
Oh, and SimpleClips is conveniently in fake Dark World here.
Yep, thanks to that Diamond Thief sets up. I can't remember here. If they mirror before leaving the view screen, can they keep the Dark World access from the next screen? I think they'll be in bunny form. I forget how that works. Hopefully someone in chat can remind me.
I certainly don't know.
How that works. Okay, we're about to find out. I think now we're going to be in bunny form. Yes, here we go. So by mirroring, you put yourself out of the fake Dark World and back into real Dark World. I know it sounds complicated. It's kind of annoying for us to get used to. It's actually a quirk of the original vanilla game. It's actually removed from the minor glitch rando seeds so that you don't have to worry about doing it by accident. But it's added back in glitch modes so that the seeds play out, and the functionality is more like the glitched speedruns and those rule sets.
Yeah, SimpleClips remembered that he needs to release his fairy so that he doesn't fairy revive as he's trying to bunny revive.
PH is now going to do the mirror wrap to get to Pyramid Fairy. PH has not been over there yet. Well, I've been on Pyramid, but not to Pyramid Fairy. The one sad thing is, even if this was I'm gonna get it wrong again. Pocket Bunny, Pocket Bunny. I think whatever it was called. I don't really remember.
Pocket Bunny.
Pocket Bunny. Thank you, Drosy. You here to save me.
Because again, I for some reason it made an impression on me when Kern found it and did his intro video and everything, so I remember what he called it.
I'm glad someone here knows what you're talking about. I can't remember the name. I just know there's a pocket, there's a bunny. I know the two words, it's not the order. I already forgot. But because we died in Skull Woods, and we have Link State as long as we stay in the Skull Woods overworld and dungeon area, SimpleClips can just do the back of Skull Woods to vanilla. He doesn't have to bunny pocket it.
Okay, chat's saying it's bunny pocket, which means I'm just losing my mind, except that we know I've already lost my mind, so I have no mind further to lose.
Okay, it's bunny pocket. I will try my hardest to remember that. But do we have anything? What do we have left here? No one's checked. I've lost track a little bit of what we have available. We obviously do have the back of Skull Woods, but SimpleClips has to go to Mire Shed to get the fire rod. No, bunny pocket makes more sense, Fox. You're totally right. I agree.
Okay, so where's PH trying to clip to now?
This is a clip to Swamp.
Oh, this is the Swamp clip, okay. He's really doubling down on pendant dungeons.
The other thing to note, though, is that your moon pool can't be in there.
Right.
Swamp cannot logically have your moon pool in HMG.
And front and middle of Skull Woods were just... Oh, no, we got Samaria in there. Never mind. That was kind of useful. Which I suppose means that Moon Pearl can be on Laser Bridge now, right?
Oh, PH went to the right side instead of the left, and has no small key to open up Swamp.
Ooh.
I mean, they have a hammer so they can pull the switch when it's slow, but they have no small key to open up Swamp. They forgot.
It's okay, he just mirrored back out to Hera. That's great, because as you were saying, you know, it identifies with what dungeon you entered through, so a mirror is going to send you right back to Hera.
It just feels bad because you forgot the key, so you made that clip in there. You can't even open the door. You have to clip from Hera to Swamp with a key.
Well, the problem is the small key of Hera is locking itself.
Yeah, so you either set up the Hyrule Castle key, which is out of logic, but you can do it, or logically the seed actually expects you, in this case, to get the Moon Pearl, then find the Mario Medallion, and then you could get the third Mario Small, and then clip from there to Hera to Swamp. But you could do it right now with the Hyrule Castle Small that I mentioned earlier on the back. Although PH can't, because PH did the backup escape to Dark Frost, so that key does not exist for them. So they have to wait until Meyer, and I think now they're thinking about where to go for the Moon Pearl. Yeah, I think PH is a bit lost where they can go for the Moon Pearl. They have to think this out. This is the exact seed you don't want if you're a bit less comfortable with these, you know, Moon Pearl gotchas.
Yeah.
Probably going to see.
No, I mean, so what do we even have left for Moon Pearl? We have Laser Bridge, we have Mimic Cave, back of Skull Woods. I guess there are a few other locations in Turtle Rock as well.
Yeah, we have TR, and we do have Mimic Cave, which might be the likely answer here. Peach is going to do Super Buddy first. I think they haven't done that yet. Oh, they're going to go straight to TR. Yeah, they're going straight to TR.
Actually, did we already get both items out of Skull Woods? I wasn't counting.
Simple did, and they couldn't go to the... Did you get one or two? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the question. I wasn't counting.
Yeah, I wasn't counting either. Chat, you know, right? I can go screw up the bot otherwise. Oh yeah, Simple hasn't done Zora yet. Silver's in Mimic Cave.
Okay, well, it wasn't Moon Pearl, but certainly a nice item. I have to imagine Simple goes back to the mountain now that he has Samaria. No?
Yeah, PH setting up a death rope here, or a death so they can get Link State again. This isn't logic, what PH is doing right now. What is Simple setting up? They did Hobo early on in the season.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Again, swim over to Ice Rod Cave to get... You know, what are they doing?
Is it going to Ice Palace? Could be.
You get the splash delete and then swim over there. Oh, Ice Palace. We have Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I was listening, Drosy.
That sounds like normal.
But but Simple doesn't have the Fire Rod, which you can get to the front of Ice Palace without the Fire Rod, but obviously you can get further. Or just like the Bombos, though. You're Bombos, you're fine. Okay, you're good. Simple has the Bombos, so fine. Interesting that both fire sources are in logic. Yeah, so TR, Ice Palace.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit surprised that SimpleClips took all that time to do this. I guess maybe it's still slightly faster than running all the way around and fake flipping like you would in an NMG.
Yeah, this is where ideally you would just do a splash delete. You have multiple items to let you do it, but I'm guessing Simple's is a little less practice on those tricks. You know, see a death rope here to get Link State, and we could kill Squeezer and proceed normally, but instead we're going to do a bomb clip, I expect, to get to a couple.
I mean, we got plenty of magic.
It is, but it's always faster to do this clip, so.
Okay. Well, he had Bombos activated, and now he's not on Bombos. Oh, nice. Okay, there we go.
And the cane, the analogic cane, does make this a lot more pleasant to route, obviously, you know, Icebreaker. Other than the clip you just saw in Ice, and the fact that you can compete with that in Moon Pearl, the rest of Ice is completely vanilla.
Yeah, except you have to backtrack now to get to Compass Chest, and we're not in go mode, so okay, he's skipping it. I guess he'll go back in and worry about it if he doesn't find 3 items otherwise. And there's Turtle Rock, Big Key, and Chomp's Chest. So now we can check Crystal Roller. Well, we're certainly doing well for keys in Ice. Heck, PH is doing well for keys in Turtle Rock.
Okay, is Peach gonna now do the Bunny Cave? Oh, no, they did. No, they can't. They have to make they can sit up here. Yeah. Okay, Bunny Cave's in logic with Mit's Hammer or Mirror. Any one of those 3. I forgot about that. I forgot about Mit's being one of the options.
We have not found a single item in Ice yet, which is increasing the likelihood that we will have to go back and check Compass Chest.
Yeah, and this is a situation I personally wouldn't have skipped it. I mean, it's not unreasonable. You can do it at the very end. You might have to walk back in.
The 3 items are confirmed on Cold Stare, Ice Tea, and Compass Chest.
That's a gross Ice Palace layout.
We managed to find all the dungeon items without finding a single regular item as PH finally gets his Tempered Sword.
It should be as simple as not doing Compass Chest. Not Compass, ST. Yeah, I expect PH is the exact kind of scene PH did not want to see. I mean, no, most people don't want to see a scene like this, but the Moon Pearl is this annoying to get to. But I expect PH will be especially unhappy. I mean, I'm sure he's enjoying it in like a worse way. No item on Cold Stare.
Okay, I must have missed an item then. My bad.
Yeah, Samaria was in Attic in Thief's Town, which was out of logic. Mention out the chat, not to you, Jossie. Okay, PH is going to do Magic Bat here. Logically, Simple did earlier when it was out of logic.
And now Simple actually wanting to get to Compass Room, it's faster to just Bombos the Freezor.
And it will feel bad if Iced Tea is the answer.
Yeah, because he didn't hit, or he did hit the switch.
Yeah, PH still has Ice Palace in the whole Boo area to consider this Moon Pearl.
Okay, I have lost the ability to count. I could have sworn we had 2 small keys already.
I just don't count and rely on you to do it, Jossie.
I mean, counting to 3 is hard. Look at King Arthur and the Holy Grail. Also, we should shout out these runners and remind you to give them a follow. They have been providing good entertainment for us tonight, breaking the game in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, they're both great players. This is a tough seed, so like, I get the frustration of this one and how long it's taking to find this Moon Pearl. It's good entertainment though, And PH is PH going for the citrus clip? Okay, this is what you can do if you don't have a mirror. HMG logically expects you to do it with the mirror, so you don't have to do this series of one frame inputs by select buffering. PH could instead do a mirror.
There we go. Moon Pro was an ice all along.
Cool. Okay, this would feel really bad for PH because they're going to head over to Vu now and do like Thief, Mystical Woods, Vu, and they're doing the citrus clip, which is this is not even this is not in logic. Like you're not logically required to do this nasty clip. It's not the hardest thing to do with practice. Like it's not that difficult, but it is a lot of one frame inputs, and a lot of people don't find it fun. So it's not logically required.
Hey, Specs? Do you know what's keeping us from no mode right now?
Ice Rod?
Yep.
And another Ice Rod hunt too. Nice.
Yes, it's an Ice Rod hunt, and the Ice Rod can even be in GT as opposed to, you know, in a regular non-glitched mode where the Ice Rod can't be in GT.
Yeah, that's what my race was earlier today. Yeah, it's... Normally HMG, a lot of the seeds are like either it's an Ice Rod hunt or it's some other item that might as well be an Ice Rod hunt. It happens in a lot of the seeds just because you have so much available to you all the time. So a lot of HMG comes down to like this, you know, really good, efficient route.
Now, meanwhile, for good news, SimpleClips is gonna head over to Meyer area, so he will be getting his Fire Rod very shortly.
That'd be great for Simple, but then they can go fetch up School Woods, and they're only gonna be an Ice, then just get Ice Rod, and they can go beat TR. They've been to it all, so they'll probably go there.
Yeah.
We haven't seen GT yet.
Right. I mean, TR and GT are kind of the big things now. We don't have Ether to get into Meyer.
And you really don't want to even, you don't really want to see that. You'd rather not see that. And since SimpleClips hasn't done things like Digging Game and things, but now you're just like, well, I can beat School Woods, and then after that, I can focus. I can either go to TR, see my Ice Rod's there, or I can just go to GT, and while looking for Big Key, maybe I find the Ice Rod. And PH is still working on the citrus clip. Honestly, they think they have a better time if they looked up a fake flute or the in-logic mirror clip over the East Mountain that lets you then go down to Dark Overworld. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what we called Drosy, is that SimpleClips knows the glitches better, it knows like glitch mode routing in clips better. And on PH has faster execution, you know. And a scene like this, especially with that Moon Pearl, was kind of gross. Because like Ice Palace is often about can be one of your first checks, especially with where Samaria was and where Fire Rod was. I mean, you had Bombos, but still, like, it wasn't an amazing play you wanted to make. Not the worst play. So like, this is definitely a seed that like is gonna favor SimpleClips. But if PH can get this going soon and get over to Ice Palace and Ice Rod's in a really gross spot, like, I wouldn't say it's over. There's a chance, but okay, PH should get this citrus clip. This is where I wish I could, I was looking at PH's webcam right now. Yeah, Simple right now, I mean, they don't know. Simple probably feels behind. Or feels potentially behind. You know, knowing how fast of a player PH is, and just knowing that, like, you know, Simple had basically the double dip of Ice because of how they routed it. And while it didn't go to TR, in Mire Shed before finding the Moon Pearl, they did do most of the other checks. So you might feel a bit behind. And then also they had the some of the issues with what was it? Well, primarily that. And now we have mitts, or we've had mitts for a while. This chain is in logic without those mitts. This would not be in logic. We could do it without mitts, but it wouldn't have much incentive. But yeah, SimpleClips is prioritizing these overworld checks while they're in the area, which is not unreasonable. Like, you get these, it's easy to do them now while you're in the area, finish out the area, so you don't have to come back. The negative to it is, you have to do GT, so you still have to go to GT, you have to find your big key, you have to do the climb in order to exit again, so you have to do that at some point, and you can go there now. And you have to, in SimpleClips case, they still have to go to TR to get their big key and a small key. So they're going to have to go to front and middle of TR at some point before they can actually get to the back and open it, because even if you have the ice rod, if you haven't gotten your big key and a small for TR, you can't just go straight to the back. You have to go elsewhere to find that big key.
So at what point do you just do GT?
Yeah, if I was in SimpleClips and I was trying to be more, I would have probably ordered with the GT or TR already, because of the two things you have left that you actually have to do. And GT has so many checks. But I think Simple's more interested in like clean, efficient routing here. So I can see why they're doing it. They want to do as many checks as they can while they're in the area. But I'd say like more common convention would be to just prioritize GT and TR at this point. Yeah, for purple chests, if you've already done Smith, you can always just do like the hammer peg clip and do that. I also feel a little bit bad for PH. I'm hoping PH is having a good laugh about this, because it's only game one. You can practice some stuff. You're still in it. There's a losers bracket to this tournament as well. It's still winners. So I'm hoping.
Yes, definitely worth remembering. This is a best of 3.
Yes. So.
Poor PH though.
Yeah, this is the exact kind of seed that if you're Rusty in HMG, that you do not want the seed. This is the exact kind of seed you don't want. I mean, you got a glove for some easier route. But how bad the Moon Pearl was. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he needs to go to Skullwood, so I guess, that he can do Ice Palace without Samaria.
I don't think PH is the most familiar with the options that you have in the situation.
I mean, Bunny Revive Ice Palace seems like a pretty straightforward option, even if he's not comfortable skipping the Freezor. He has Bombos and Fire Rod.
I have to imagine PH is looking at race time right now, was just hoping somehow Simple's already about to begin. And like, I just feel like PH is just like, compared this, was probably like a big panic like 5-10 minutes ago, and then now I was just like accepted their fate, probably. Unfortunate, but I mean, imagine PH is still going to keep continuing and is looking at Muffin's tracker or some other glitch guides. Yeah. Oh, why Citrus Clip? Because like the 3 ways you can get there, this is the fastest way and easiest way is to do the fake flute with the blue potion that SimpleClips did earlier. The illogical way is to go to the east side with the mirror clip, and to be honest, that's, while it's slower than Citrus Clipping if you are good at Citrus Clipping, it's a lot easier to learn and do. This trick, while not insanely hard, is something that you should definitely, practice, and most people don't find that fun. Yeah, I don't think PH has a blue potion, but in this situation, I think I would just go to potion shop and buy my blue potion, and then keep saving and quitting until I succeed on a fake flute. But PH just probably hasn't practiced it that much. And is more familiar with this setup for some reason.
Yeah, I just feel like he's kind of got blinders on at this point, that he's so fixated on getting this that he isn't thinking about his other options.
Yeah, I think he's kind of given up on the race, unfortunately, and it's just like, I want to figure out this clip. It kind of comes across that way. Like, if you're stuck to it this long. So.
Yes, I guess as chat's saying, it's a matter of principle at this point.
Yeah, at this point, Peach is like, I'm getting this clip. Get it for simple scanning.
And here's our first look at Hookshot Cave, which we haven't even really discussed.
Yeah, I feel like PH would know how to do fake flute. Oh, mirror wrap. The mirror mountain isn't, play. At least know of it. You better go find the info. So maybe this is a deliberate choice by PH just because.
Okay, so now we know that 3 of our 4 swords were on the mountain.
Well, cool. Nice. Okay, SimpleClips is going to do TR first.
Yeah,
well, going to Catfish, never mind.
But we still don't have Ether, so we can't go in the front of TR.
So Simple... it's hard to imagine PH coming back from this one. I would be very impressed. But Simple is prioritizing, it's like, kind of just checking everything. They haven't got TRGT yet. They're just kind of hoping to find the Ice Rod. Before they have to go clear all of the GT, or go to TR, just not be able to beat it. So I can get their line of thinking. I think it's potentially slow. Because, like, you have so many checks you can do in GT and even TR. But, like, I think GT is probably the stronger play, arguably. TR is pretty good to play, though, because you have to go to the front and middle to get your big key anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping PH is just having a laugh and, Oh, did they get it? I was not watching.
Yeah, looks like he finally got it.
Oh, he got it. I completely missed it. I feel bad. PH, congrats. A moral victory for PH today. He may not feel the way, but I'll give him a moral victory there. He got through it.
Meanwhile, small key and hope room for SimpleClips, so we're going right. Guess we didn't really start a GT big key guessing game here. You still think it's in check number 5?
I'm looking for where the Ice Rod is.
Yeah, well...
You find the Ice Rod first here.
But Ice Rod could still be on Laser Bridge. We haven't seen Laser Bridge.
Yeah, we still have some overworld stuff that SimpleClips hasn't checked.
There's also, Specs, dare I say it? Swamp?
Ugh.
Swamp has 6 items.
Maybe those flippers will pay off for PH.
Hey, Sankart.
I think Simple did not do tile, which is completely reasonable at this point. Yeah, completely reasonable. I would say skipping is the right call.
I mean, if the big key isn't anywhere else, you're kind of forced to do it, but no, I wouldn't do it looking for the Ice Rod.
Yeah, I would say that you do it last still. It's pretty reasonable in the situation.
Anyone in chat happen to know what the junk fill logic is for GT and glitch modes? Okay, thank you, chat. Vortex and Dr. Earworm. So, it's treated as though it's a zero crystal entrance, so there's no junk fill. So it's actually kind of surprising it has just been junk, given the sheer number of items in GT.
I mean, in most of your seeds, I feel like GT usually has just like one item you need. That's not always true, but like GT being, only being basically only locked, essentially only locked by your Moon Pearl and nothing else. It means pretty early on it's going to have progression. So.
Yeah, I guess since the Moon Pearl was pretty deep, that prevents GT from really having much.
Yeah, which is why we go later than you might normally see. Still could have been here a bit sooner, I would argue, when we realized it was a nice red hunt. But, it makes sense that they've gotten here that soon because, yeah, where Moon Pearl was.
Oh, by the way, since we haven't said this yet, shoutouts to Other Tom for doing the tracking. And hey, the big key is in my favorite chest with Flute and Ether. So,
Ether's gross.
Mire's now a possibility.
Which means Swamp is now in Logic. That's gross. That's gross. You don't want to see Ether.
Swamp's been in Logic for a while, but yes, now Mire's in Logic.
Swamp's only in Logic if either the front item is Swamp Small, which is...
Right. So small key placement. Forgot about that.
You have Mire access with the ability to get all 3 small keys. So now we know
because we can't get the small key out of Hera because it's locking itself.
And even if you could, that's not actually what the Logic expects you to do, even though you can do it. But we could get it anyway, yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, chat's telling me that it's always in Mire, so that's good to know. And I guess we'll actually open the big chest, too. Actually, why didn't we open the big chest before doing Ice Armos, Force of Habit?
Yeah, Force of Habit, I would say. So, yeah, we got big chests, and then get to climb. And we still have Laser Bridge, as you mentioned, if you've not seen. Did Simple do Spike Cave yet?
Oh, PH setting up Pocket, Bunny Pocket, whatever.
We're gonna see it, okay.
Nice. First try.
Awesome.
Now, of course, he has to do another Bunny Revive. Oh, and SimpleClips is doing Tile Room at this juncture.
I think it's pretty reasonable. You'll do this and then the climb. And then you have to come. You have to work to TV and answer. Yeah, I think this is reasonable enough. You don't leave this behind.
Oh, right. SimpleClips never got the cape, which I'm now forgetting where it was. I remember it came up. I remember PH checked something, and I'm totally forgetting what. Zora, right?
Simple did go back to 0 earlier.
No, it wasn't Zora.
It was a
Shovel, right. Thank you, chat. Right, Simple never went to check the dig spot after getting the shovel out of pod.
I can check it later, so just let the cape down.
And this is why you count small keys. Oh.
Yeah, something does the cape.
It's almost midnight.
You're good. No worries.
Ever have one of those weeks where you're like, it's been a long week and it's only Wednesday?
Every now and then, yeah. Most weeks, really. Okay, so after this, assuming Ice Run's not on the climb, because it could be, I would expect Simple to go do TR, because you have to at least get your big key and small from the front or middle of TR, and then you can check Laser Bridge and see if your Ice Run's just in TR.
Right, and there are enough small keys that we can get to the front of TR as well.
That's nice. See, Simple can run pretty much wherever they want. Yeah, PH logically from Moon Pearl has Ice Palace. That should be it. They did everything else that could be in Logic. They did Pyramid Fairy, right? Pretty sure they did Pyramid Fairy, Alan. Yeah, they did. So it should just be Expels. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Cortex.
PH does not have the Bloomerang, so he did not do Pyramid Fairy.
Nice job keeping track, Drosy. Okay. You redeemed yourself from the cake, Drosy.
I can remember a few things, I just can't remember everything at once. Mostly I remember the useless things. I leave the useful things to others.
Hey, remembering that's nice, because now we know PH also has the Pyramid Fairy. Which is often one of the first, like, dogwood checks you do while you're looking for Moonfall, if you have Mirror. Yeah, PH. Well, we'll see how PH routes. Maybe PH does a single dip of ice this time, unlike Simple kind of double dip it, basically. Okay, PH is stealing the key for some smoother routing.
Ooh, SimpleClips ran out of magic and had to use the lamp to light the last torch.
Okay, 2 more checks and climb here.